Dr. Deer, brought to you by Buck Forage.
Well, Doc, in this series, as you know, we've been talking about how to manage small tracts of land, to increase your chance of success for whitetail hunting.
Yes.
And this week, we really want to talk about holding deer on your property, which can be a real challenge when you're not working with a great big piece of land.
Oh yeah, it's a big challenge for any piece of land. We did a study one time where we found out that you had to have a 10,000 acre property to get control of the deer on it.
Wow.
And no, who has that? That's not even realistic. So if you can't do it with 10,000 acres, you're certainly not going to do it with 80 acres or 60 acres or what.
Sure.
So, and we talk about holding deer. We're not talking about the impression is that we want the deer never to leave the property.
Right.
And that's impossible. But we can get the deer to be on the property at the right time for the right length of time. And that's what's important. For example, when we first started our research facility, it was a relatively small piece of land, and the hunters around us were hammering every buck that walked off of it. What we did is we set up strategies like setting a sanctuary.
Right.
We put a sanctuary. Every piece of property needs to have a sanctuary as close to the middle of it as you can get. We have made it one-stop shopping, everything a deer needed. And our goal was to hold them there the first few days of the season. And what we found out was by the third day of the season, we doubled our buck population on our property.
Oh, that's great. Well, I think it's a topic that really applies to our audience. Most of the guys out there that are searching for a property or have just acquired one, they're relatively modest in size. And the deer, like you said, it's not realistic for them to stay there all the time. So I think the term holding deer on a smaller property, should not be defined as them staying there, 100% of the time. Perhaps a deer is just traveling through your property, or they're coming over there to feed on a food plot. To me, if they are there frequently and regularly, then you're doing a good job at holding the deer on your ground.
Mainly, the strategy is simple. You want the deer, when they start feeling pressure, to think of your place as a place to go to get away from that pressure.
Place of refuge.
Yeah, and if you landscape it right, I guarantee you, you're going to increase the survival of your bucks.
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to do. Well, folks, I'm Haynes Shelton.
And I'm James Kroll.
And this is North American Whitetail.